sometimes kids, you can see it from the parents and how they were raised. That's why a lot of kids, in the street now do things, get involved in gangs and get involved in the street culture and the street things that's going on because the dads wasn't there to make sure that they were in line.
Tell me about your daughters, their age and, their names and stuff like that.
Well, Vina Love, the singer,
yes,
she's 27. She's the youngest. And my oldest daughter, Kiera, she's 31. And she's the artist. She's the painter. So
you were at the height of your career when you became a father. Talk about the impact that fatherhood had on you as a human, like as a person. What did you start to see about yourself? Like, what did you start to learn, as a result of that?
Well, one thing, when you have girls, right? When you're raising girls, you want to make sure that you give them the right example. Vina, she was around people, the music industry, but the people I carry myself around, they never displayed the things that a lot of stuff that happens in the music industry,
Right.
They never displayed that because that's not who they are. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't have that around her, that bad influence part of it.
Yes.
The good influence part of it is what she always has. So that's what she was raised around. So when she was ready to be in the music business herself, she was already seasoned. I didn't have to worry about how she was going to be in it, even though that's what a parent was going to do, because we know how the business is. It could be beautiful, but it also could be scoundrel. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But she showed me a lot. You know what I mean? And with that being said, the talent had to be there, so I wasn't just going to force on people if I didn't feel like she was ready. And at the time she started showing me, I didn't feel like she was ready. When she was ready, that's when I co-signed her.
What were those conversations like? You have almost two sets of fathers. It could be the trophy parent that pushes them, and almost makes them not want to pursue that lane. Or you have the yes man who's just telling them how great they are, but they never actually are challenged enough to break through that ceiling. So what were those conversations you were having early on like?
People that know me know I'm very transparent. I tell you the truth, even if it hurts your feelings.
I love that.
All right? And out of all the people that you know is going to mislead you or put a wool over your eye, there's one person that's going to tell you the truth, even if it hurts your feelings, and that's Kid. So with that being said, doesn't matter if it's family or not. If you're not right, I'm not co-signing anything that's not right. Not only that, I'm not going to throw you out to the wolves knowing that you're not ready. Especially my daughter, my child. Right. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm not here to tell her what to do. I'm here to show her what to do. And I'm not going to agree with everything that nobody does. I'm going to agree with what I think is right. So when she brought me the music that she brought me, it sounded cool, sound like a starter, and I treated it as such. When she showed me the advancement of it, that's when I say, yeah, she's getting it. Then when she showed me the one song that she had wrote for Rihanna that never got to Rihanna and she ended up recording it herself, that's when I was like, yeah, she's ready. So, and that was Air. So now she flying and doing her thing, and she wanted to make sure that people accepted her for being Vina Love and not Kid Capri's daughter.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And with her talent and the way she's moving and the way she do things, she proved that.
Word. Did you have any hesitations about using your Rolodex, your leverage, your legacy to assist her at all?
Oh, no. A lot of things I did for her, she don't even know I done.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's my daughter, and I have that ability to do that. And this is why when I put my album out, The Love, last year, I put her on the Uptown song with me. I wanted her presence there because, first of all, you ain't seen the father and daughter do a hip-hop record ever. You know what I'm saying? So that was just dope to see. And, and I wanted her to rhyme on the record. I didn't want her to sing. So
and she can spit.
So she's nice with it.
Yes.
They are kids, and we raise them, but they're their own people. They gotta make their own choices. I can sit here and dictate to her all day what I want her to do myself, but she's gotta be happy within herself. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, sometimes we get caught up in being a friend and not the parent.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have to understand that you was a kid at one time too. We were all kids too. So you have to understand the youth. And that's what keeps me young. That's what keeps me in line and balance with what's going on with all the kids and as well as the adults, because I stay balanced. I don't go by what's old and new. I go by what's good. You know, so with that being said, it resonates well. She feel like she got the coolest dad in the world.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He, you know, and that's it.
You're one of the only era-less DJs. Like, we could put you in with the Architects, but we could put you in, you know, in a different era. I feel like the Kendrick Lamar project that you were a part of put you in a whole new era. And I feel like a lot of parents don't really get how important it is to be current.
The music that's out right now, a lot of it I do like. A lot of it I don't. But I like a lot of music that was in the 90s. I ain't like a lot of music that was in the 80s. I ain't like everything. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to like everything no matter what era it is, no matter what change happens. You know, you're going to like what you like. And that's why things are classic, things are timeless, and then there's things that's just for the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it always depends on what you want. I think that what happens, I think we get caught in dictating to people what they should like. I think that's where the divide came in with the young and the older people. When the older people say, yo, don't do this, you shouldn't do this and do that. When I go and do my shows, it doesn't matter if there's 21-year-olds there or if there's 50-year-olds there. They're all going to get the same energy, the same show. They're going to leave there feeling better than they did before they got there.
Love it.
That's the whole goal.
For the girl dads out there, how did you bond with them? What were some intentional things that you kind of put in place?
Let them just be people, man. Just let them do what they do and don't, you know, be a dad, but also be a person that, you know, understands. A lot of times fathers, you know, they get locked in what they believe and what they think, and that's it. You know, the boy's going to chase you, so you don't know what to do and all this different stuff. But I'm a person that I think when I speak sometime, I get it across.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
effective communication.
Yeah, I don't really have to badger you and be slick about it. I get it across and you understand it. Now you take that information and whatever you do with it, you're responsible for it. You know, if you don't do the right thing with it, that's a part of life. You're gonna learn. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. So I think from that angle, you know, you develop a certain amount of trust from your kids because they know that they can come and tell you anything and you're not going to go and hold it against them or make them feel like they shouldn't come and tell you, you know, or make them feel like they going to go and tell. I remember telling my daughter, I said, don't never ask another man for any money if you ever need it. You come to me, period. I don't care what age you are, who you are, where you at in your life. If you need anything, you don't never ask another man for it. And she stuck to that. So she never asked another man for anything. You know, her boyfriend that she's with right now, Kawhi, a great kid, love him to death. You know what I'm saying? I see him bring the best out of her.
That's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a great thing for a father to see. You know? So, you know.
Man.
Yeah.
I also want to go back to something you said earlier, and we're on this whole bonding and let your kid be them. You said that, you know, you're the type of person that even if it hurts your feelings, you're going to be honest and you're going to tell the truth. Yeah. How did you prepare your daughters to hear the things that they may not have wanted to hear, or were you able to kind of sugarcoat things at times? How did you handle that bluntness with them?
I'll say this. If I'm telling you something, you're going to get the truth. You're going to get what it really is. If I don't think you should know, then you just don't know. But you wasn't lied to.
Right. Discernment.
You wasn't lied to. You wasn't misled.
Right.
You just wasn't told because I didn't feel like it was necessary to tell you. Now, if you found on your own and you come and you ask me about it, then I'm going to give you the best advice possible. But if it's something that I think that's not going to make your day any better or do anything that's going to change anything, and that's another thing I live by, you cannot get uptight or upset or bent out of shape or stressed or lose weight or all these things for things that you can't help or change.
Talk about it.
It is what it is. So why let your day go bad by it? Just move on to the next thing. Sometimes kids, you could see it from the parents and how they were raised. That's why a lot of kids, in the street now do things, get involved in gangs and get involved in the street culture and the street things that's going on because the dads wasn't there to make sure that they were in line. They're going to have these children with these women, lay them down and do what they do. And things happen. Not saying that you're supposed to be with who you lay down with, everybody. Right. You have fun, but you have to be responsible. And if you bring a life in this kid in this world, that is a cell of yours. That's your responsibility.
Yes.
And I don't condone that. I don't condone a man not being a father, to their child.
This interview ain't over yet, but I wanted to let you know that this is just a piece of a longer conversation you can check out on the Rap Dad Show podcast on all platforms. So, we're going to play a quick game called First and Last. First memory of fatherhood.
Coming off the road, and my daughter was in the hospital, and when she opened her eyes, the first thing she did was smile when she seen me. And she been smiling ever since. I never had a day where I woke up because she was crying in the middle of the night. Never had no problems with any fussing, nothing. All she did as a baby, all the way up to now, you see Vina Love, you see her always smiling. That was her as a baby the whole time. Never had no issues. So my first thing of fatherhood, it was very easy.
Last time you hung out with your daughters? Where were you at? What were you doing?
Vina came to my house 4 days. Excuse me. I went on the road Friday. She came to my house Thursday with a cook. And I thought he was going to cook me fish and rice. He cooked this whole table of all this food. So now he's my cook. Now he just came back and cooked recently for me. And he did a bunch of different stuff. That my refrigerator right now is filled with a bunch of different foods that he did. But this is what he did. He did all this stuff here.
Oh, damn. Wow.
Yeah, he went in with that.
Come on. What's that, salmon?
Yeah, 2 different salmons.
My God.
Yeah, he went crazy. I thought he was just cooking one fish and some, and she just came out of nowhere and just brought him over.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that was the last time I was with her.
First artist or song you played for your daughter?
It's a good question. I tell you this, the first time I played her grandfather's records to her, my father, I played, I think I played Can't Turn It Back On, his record, Can't Turn It Back On. I played that for her, and all the other records. I can't remember exactly what music was, but you gotta keep in mind, music was in my house all day.
Of course.
So she was born into it.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? At first, she is,
It's Air.
That's the name of a song,
right,
Air.
Exactly.
It's there. It's like, you can't really, we'll be here all day.
Word. All right, so what's the last song that she played for you, or that she was like, you got to hear this, or tried to put you on? Maybe an artist she put you on to. The last song she has out right now. Okay.
Yeah, she played that for me, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty hot. And the video, she's on the beach.
Yes, yeah.
And she's doing her thing, man. I love it. She gave me another song that with her and Jack Boy that she had did.
Oh.
It was cool. I liked it. It was all right. It wasn't where I wanted to be, but It was all right, But this one that she has out now is really, really dope.
First concert you took your daughters to?
Davina's first concert, I think it was the Radio City Music with me and LL, Sierra, and somebody else was on that show. And I was just talking about this in another interview. When I got off, I had to do two shows. So when I did the first set, when I came back on the second set, I put her on stage with me just to be on stage, and let the people see her. And then they gave her cheers, and then she broke out into this dance routine.
Hey,
I was like, yo, and she was going crazy. She was about 6 years old. She was going crazy. Radio City was losing their mind. I was like, wow. So that's when she caught the bug. And then Sierra's chasing her around backstage and all that. She see L, she see all these things. The people cheer, they asking her for autographs and pictures. So she caught the bug. Then one day she said, Dad, I can sing. I was like, yeah, all right, whatever. She brings me a song. I'm like, yeah, it's all right. Brings me another song. I'm like, all right. Then she brings me a song with a little boyfriend she had at the time. I was like, okay. She did The Best of Me with Maya and Jay-Z record.
Yes,
I was like, all right. Then she bought me Air. That's what she wrote for Rihanna. She bought me that and did the video. My other daughter did the video. And that's when I said, yeah, this is serious now. Now she's ready. And she's been going ever since. So I'm very proud of her, man. You know, she's going to continue to do great things.
Sure.
Me and her's doing a new record right now, as a matter of fact. Yeah, it's going to be a big record.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
On the next episode of the Rap Dads Show,
I had to get to that point to realize, I'm never going to be a great dad because I'm trying to provide for her without providing the things I need for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.